Salute and welcome to the Reasonable Wrestling Podcast. Tonight we're going to be talking about Cody Rhodes taking the high roads with his title at stake in Saudi Arabia against Logan Paul and the matches, man. King and Queen of the Ring, Smackdown. Let's talk about it. Welcome to Smacktalk with Chidi Bang. I am your host, Chidi Bang, and I'm here to talk about our latest news in regards to King and Queen of the Ring in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Now, this is it's been an interesting show. It's been an interesting show. I'll say this: SmackDown and the build to King and Queen of the Ring has been entertaining. Not just SmackDown, but Raw as well. I think both shows have performed extremely well in terms of match quality, different variances of types of matches. They have heel versus heel matches, face versus face matches. That's what I like when I see tournaments, you know? Now, we didn't get a whole lot of that this night, but nonetheless, the matches were incredible. SmackDown kicked off with a Queen of the Ring quarterfinal match between Bianca Belair and Tiffany Stratton. This was the match of the night, in my opinion. It was started off incredibly hot. Both of them obviously are extremely fit, extremely athletic, and I believe that the right person won. I mean, let's be honest. Actually, let me take a moment to say this. I thought Tiffany Stratton was going to win. I thought that Tiffany Stratton was going to be potentially in the finals, or maybe even win the whole thing. But I do think that Bianca's victory with her selling the knee, which she's been doing since last week with Candice, this week Tiffany targeted the knee. Tiffany had a lot of underhanded tricks during this match, including grabbing the braid multiple times. And honestly, I just gotta say, man, Tiffany's over. Tiffany's over. It was just not her moment right now, but you can see the talent just jump off the screen when she's in the ring as a character and as her in-ring work. So I'm extremely happy to see what the potential and seeing her grow as a talent. But it was a great match. The crowd was loving it. We had a "This is awesome" chant. I thought with all the dirty taxes, Tiffany would win, but Bianca couldn't capitalize by sweeping Tiffany's feet when she went for the prettiest moonsault ever, and she picked up the victory with the KOD. Now, she cut a promo afterwards. The crowd was hot for Bianca too, chanting EST, so she moves on to the semifinals. And once that happened, I was like, oh, are we going to be getting Jade versus Bianca already? So I was like, oh, I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe we see Jade Cargill's first loss tonight. Spoiler alert. Anyways, we moved on to the backstage segment where it was Logan Paul. He was coming down the hallway to enter Nick Aldis's office. LA Knight leaves it. They have a little stare down. I don't know. Is this a tease? What are they doing here? I've said multiple times that I believe that Logan Paul and LA Knight will be making for a really interesting program. We'll see if that leads to something later down the line, maybe Money in the Bank, maybe SummerSlam. But I believe that Logan Paul, and there's something there with Logan Paul and LA Knight. Mic work, the angle. He's like one of the hottest baby faces. He's one of the hottest heels in the company. So I think there's magic there waiting to happen. After that, we had a great backstage promo with LA Knight and Carmelo. Like, them two also have a little bit of chemistry when it comes to mic work, when it comes to presence on when they present themselves on screen. Two guys who are a little bit arrogant, who are not going to back down, have this like machismo about them, just as they want to be the best, and they're both talking their shit about how they're going to win their match tonight, and they wouldn't back down. That moved on to the actual match between LA Knight and Tama Tonga. Now, this was a decent match, but once again, with the Bloodline matches, just like last week, it's a little bit anticlimactic finish. I don't like the whole, hey, Solo and Tangaloa interferes, or they get a distraction, and it leads to Tama Tonga hitting the jumping STO pin 1, 2, 3. It's the same thing they did last week. I think even if you're going to go it that way, there's more creative ways to get the victory. And I think that they did 2 weeks in a row. It's just something simple. All right, I'm going to distract you on the ring apron. That's it. He turns around, gets hit with the STO, and that's that. That's that. So there's problems with that for me. As far as the anticlimactic finish, the match is okay. And to be honest, looking like in hindsight, I kind of would prefer if Solo Sikoa was the one in the actual tournament, because he's the guy who probably would potentially seem like a potential king of the ring, if you ask me. Like, especially with Roman being gone, if he goes from I'm tribal chief now, and then he wins the king of the ring, that adds a little bit more credibility to Solo. And everybody knows Solo has been getting a lot of love over the past couple of years, building up his resume in his rookie career as one of the better heels in the company. Honestly, Solo is really stepping it up on the microphone. His character work, his attire, how he presents himself. So in my mind, I love Tama Tonga, don't get me wrong, but I think Solo Sikoa would have been way better in this position as a potential king of the ring. I think it would be an interesting match with Solo versus Randy too. And that, I know that me and my co-host Chris, Chris wants to see Tama and Randy, but I think that's something I don't want to just see thrown on television. Tama and Randy could be seen any time at any time down the line. But Solo with that king, oh, here he is right now. He says Solo don't need that crown. Roman already made him heir. I mean, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. But I think that adds even more, drama with the situation. We don't know what Roman is feeling right now. We don't know if Solo is really even talking to Roman. Speaking of, Paul Heyman asked Solo, all right, have you been talking to Roman Reigns? Solo says, oh yeah, all the time. And they just move on. Is he lying? Is he telling the truth? When Roman comes back, we'll find out. But as far as we know as fans, we don't know what the real tribal chief and the heir situation is looking like right now. We don't know what Roman feels about what's going on with all these new members of the bloodline coming. And if I think Solo won the King of the Ring, it would have been something that's a notch, not only on his, not even just adding drama alone, but also a notch on his belt for his career. He goes down in history as the King of the Ring. What has Solo done since debuting other than be backup to Roman? Now he gets to stand up on his own to some degree and have a something he can claim as his own. Tama Tonga doesn't necessarily need to be in this tournament. It could just easily be Solo winning these matches with help from Tama Tonga and Tongaloa, and it will be the exact same thing. I think Randy and Tama Tonga is a match we can see take place at a PLE down the line, or on a bigger show, big event, because I think Randy versus Solo adds intrigue for me to potentially see Solo versus Jay in the finale, and Solo versus Jay in the finals is a really good storyline, being obviously the history with Bloodline. So that's why I would have preferred, because I don't see Tama Tonga facing Gunther or Tama Tonga facing Jay, but maybe that's what they're going to go with. I don't know. We don't know. But in my opinion, I would prefer to see Solo. All in all, the match was okay, but that's my takeaway from it. Moving on, we had the Logan Paul versus Cody Rhodes contract signing, and it was cool. A little bit of a letdown, because we all were wondering, okay, this is kind of a weird booking decision to have two champions face each other in Saudi Arabia. But I think they just want to put on a good show, and similar to the AJ Styles and Cody match, I think they just want to have Cody go out there and put on a good match for the fans out there in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, with somebody who can go, just like Logan can. My thing is that there's no stakes now. Now the whole intrigue was, oh, this is title for title. So once one of them wins, there is a difference in the structure of the show, where is Cody going to do like United States Open Challenge while also defending the WWE Championship at PLEs? That was something I was maybe curious about. But now Logan Paul came down with his lawyer, He ripped up the contract, said, "This is not what I agreed to," and he presented his own contract. Nick Aldis was a little bit mad about that, talked about this, and this is not what we agreed to, is going off. Cody said, chill, let me handle this. And he agreed to sign it after Logan Paul was talking mad shit. Cody obviously is being the knight in shining armor, being the politician dude who's gonna, or the good old boy who's just gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna take on all comers regardless. Either way, I'm gonna beat you. And he signs a contract. He's the good guy. He's the baby face, and he holds up he grabbed the United States Championship and his championship. He holds up his championship and he tosses the United States Championship to Logan after he's put one of his entourage guys through a table. To me, it's lacking something, bro. Like, it's lacking something for me. Like, I do want to see the match, but this is Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, and I do think there's no chance Cody loses this. But with at least the intrigue of a title for title, him going and winning in Saudi Arabia with 2 championships raised changes the dynamic of SmackDown for me. Even if Logan were to win it back before SummerSlam, I would have preferred Cody winning, at least, and then have like a month or two with as champion. Maybe the bloodline cost him the championship, because I'm not sure if we're going to get Roman and Cody at SummerSlam or if it's going to be somebody else. But whoever he's going to be competing with at SummerSlam to defend his championship, there could have been interference with costing him the United States Championship to a Logan Paul in a rematch or somebody else even. Maybe he loses it to Carmelo. Who knows? Christopher. Chris says, this Logan Paul's gimmick, performance championship matches, we know he ain't gonna win. Exactly. We know he ain't gonna win. And to some degree, this is what he's been doing. He's competed with Roman, he's competed with Seth, he's competed in championship matches. And last time they were in Saudi Arabia, he competed with Roman and it was a great match. So I'm not gonna be mad about the match itself, but it is what it is. I thought the title for title situation would have made it a little bit more intriguing, potentially, but we're not going to get it. Chris says that was a dub from Joe. Hey, that's a fair point. Unfortunately, that's how people feel, and it's a Saudi show. For me, Saudi Arabia, King and Queen of the Ring. The biggest thing for me is who's going to be King and Queen of the Ring, because to me, that's who's going to be getting that push, and I hope that they get the push. Last time it was King of the Ring. Zelina, King and Queen of the Ring, Zelina and Xavier Woods won it, and they didn't do a goddamn thing with either one of them. Let's be real. Xavier Woods came out with the crown and everything, and Roman said, "King, I'm the tribal chief." Destroyed him, crushed his crown. We never saw the crown again. He put the crown on his head first, and then he crushed the crown, and we never saw the crown again. So, and then Zelina, I don't even remember what happened with her. Like, so what's the point of the King and Queen of the Ring if we don't use this to catapult somebody else? That's why I was wondering if Tiffany Stratton might win, but she took her L to Bianca. So now we're getting Bianca. And my next match was Jade Cargill versus Nia Jax, which it was amazing. Nia, right off the bat, punched Jade in the face, dropped her immediately. And Nia was wrecking shop. She tossed Jade out the ring, was tossing her around, had her in front of her daughter saying, your mother sucks, and was just manhandling Jade. And like, once again, like last week, for once, I'm seeing Jade fight from underneath. Where when I saw her in AEW, I did not see that happen. Since I've seen her up until last week, it was very interesting to see how Jade is fighting from underneath against Piper Niven last week, and this week against Nia Jax. And I think as somebody with that physique who's tall and strong, it's cool to see her, with somebody who's her match, physically. So Jade ends up, well, after Nia talking shit, destroying her and everything like that, they end up fighting into the barricades. Nia grabs a chair, tries to strike Jade. Jade grabs it and strikes Nia. Jade loses by disqualification. The crowd is pissed. They're chanting bullshit, and it ends up being a pull-apart brawl. And I am officially turned on, figuratively speaking. I'm really, really excited to see this feud, Jade and Nia Jax. Like, right now, we got Jade and Nia. Well, you got Jade holding the tag team championship with with Bianca, but I really want to see a singles feud with Jade and Nia. I don't. I know we're kind of holding the tag team titles hostage right now, but chop this from me, man. I want to see them brawl. So yeah. Chris says PC and Bianca help Jade more than we know. Yeah, I absolutely. I think we can see night and day the difference between Jade after her tenure in AEW till now, and the PC, of course, and of course, being by Bianca, a veteran in the game who knows how to sell, who knows how to get that crowd up and running. Those moments. I think she can take some tips from her as well. I love everything that Jade's been doing. I think she's incredible. Like, honestly, in the ring, the reaction she gets from the crowd, it's just different, man. It's different, and her and Nia is going to be a must-see fight. And they if they did this angle to get us excited for that potentially happen, it worked. But that leaves us with the semifinals match next week being, or the semifinals match being Bianca versus Nia Jax, and the winner will be facing the winner of Io Sky and Lyra Valkyrie. Yeah. So. As I said last week, my picks were Tiffany and Nia. Tiffany's out, so my pick is Nia. Queen Nia, let's go. I'm trying to see that. All right, so we get after that we get a quick tag team match between DIY versus Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo, and DIY got the victory with interference from Elektra Lopez. Shout out to Elektra's. That sounds wrong. DIY get the victory despite interference from Elektra Lopez. She did not help DIY, but they got the victory despite her, her interfering, and Santos Escobar. Shout out to Elektra's stylist, or Elektra's, just her outfits, because Elektra be dressing like she's going to the fucking Met Gala every week. So shout out to her. Not much to say about the match. It was a good match, tag team match. You had A-Town Down Under outside on commentary. So hopefully we're building towards a DIY versus A-Town Down Under tag team title match. We shall see. Now, what I took from this, there was another QR code during the match, and I actually linked up to it, and it led to a kid in like a skeleton costume with his painted face as a skeleton, and eerie music, and it's like zooming in slowly. At first I didn't know what it was, and then you start seeing that it's a kid in a Halloween costume as a skeleton. Really creepy. And you kind of can hear something saying like, she is all of us, or she is no one. Like, it's just you can barely hear the voice, but it's a creepy voice saying some type of lyrics or some type of words, and check it out yourself if you guys seen it. But as you know, we've been seeing a lot of QR codes, a lot of creepy shit going on. I'm gonna be excited to see how this plays out and what they do with the whole potential Uncle Howdy Wyatt 6 thing possibly returning. So we'll see. We'll stay tuned to that. What else? So after that, AJ Styles had a backstage segment where he's on a microphone, and AJ Styles is essentially lost in the shuffle again. Lost Cody, lost in the first round, King of the Ring. Dude looks like he's washed. But as we know, AJ Styles is incredible. He's phenomenal, so to speak. I think he needs to leave SmackDown, bro. He should have been drafted to Raw. There's so much potential with him over there. Him and Finn could, see what they got going on. Maybe him and Finn link up, do some shit over there. I think we need to see, him and Ricochet could get busy. Him and Chad Gable, him and Sami Zayn. There's so many potential matchups and storylines I could see panning out. AJ moves over to Raw, but I don't know. He seemed very sad. He didn't seem like a confident heel. He didn't seem like a guy that I wanted to boo, and he didn't seem like a guy I wanted to cheer either. So, unfortunately, they got to figure out how to spark up this guy. It's AJ fucking style, bro. Like, you guys got to heat this guy up, man. Figure it out. figure it out. You can't have him in a title match and then lose right away in the first round. Like, I mean, you can, you did it, but like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And then that leads us to the main event. Randy Orton versus Carmelo Hayes, quarterfinals, to see who ends up going to the semifinals to compete against our guy, Tama Tonga. All right, so the one thing I noticed right off the bat is Carmelo's presence. I notice it all the time, especially when he's in these main event matches, how he presents himself. When he's able to take his time. When Carmelo's able to take his time in that ring, he's able to put on works of art. And he gives me a lot of, and this is going to be a weird correlation maybe for some of y'all, but for me, he gives me a Mr. Perfect vibe. He's such a good cocky heel. And when he takes his time to just soak in the hate and the heat from the fans, it's just like Kurt Hennig, rest in peace. Yeah, man, the match was actually surprisingly fast-paced, considering Randy Orton's older, but the match was fast-paced, and it was really good, and it led to a beautiful RKO after a springboard from Carmelo. Go check that out if you haven't seen it. Incredible finish to the show, an incredible finish to the entire night and the match. So we're going to see Randy Orton versus Tama Tonga as many wanted, as we want to see, as Chris wanted to see. But it's going to take place on TV next week. My hope is that they at least get time. Just give them some time. I want to see if they're gonna do this. Don't give it like just some angle with bloodline stuff, interference. Give them time. Let this match get to a point where we don't know who's going to go to King and Queen of the Ring. I want to get on my edge of my seat and say, is it going to be Randy? Is it going to be Tama? And by Monday night, I might know the winner of this match, unfortunately, depending on who wins between Gunther and Jey Uso. However, I want to see a fight regardless. All right? Randy Orton did his whole promo afterwards, saying that he's going to make Tama Tonga do this and that. He's going to kick him in the ass and give him RKO. It was just that's it. He spent all over the place. Ended the show on the promo because the Bloodline came out to, intimidate him. And he just cut a impassioned babyface promo saying he's gonna beat Tama next week. That's it. That's the end of the show. That's my smack talk for this week in this episode. Listen, man, taken away from everything, I think that Cody made the wrong decision. Cody, I want to see a title match. It's a great match with Bianca and 50 Stratton to open the night. Bianca selling that knee is going to lead to her and Nia next week. We'll see if that plays into the finish. We did have something backstage between Piper Niven and Chelsea Green and Bayley. So we're going to see Bayley in the ring competing against one of them. I'm not sure which one, probably Piper. But I would love to see Chelsea Green competing against Bayley. She's very entertaining. Other than that, we shall see how things fall out from next week moving forward. Nothing else. Yeah, man. All right, that's been that. It's been Smack Talk with Chidi Bang. Thank y'all for watching. Definitely like, subscribe, follow, subscribe. Do all the good. You know what you got to do. If you're watching on X, follow us. If you're watching on Facebook, follow us or friend us or whatever it may be. If you're watching on YouTube, like, share, subscribe, do all that good things. All is love. Everything is wrestling. We'll see you on Sunday. Wrestling. Peace.